So yeah, here we are, Bite Size Trust, and we're members, and the agenda is to just go over the scripts, and we're going to stick to the agenda and associated side discussions that are related to the agenda.
There you go.
Um, oh, so I've been posting the videos, and I got another 300 and something views. So the oh, where did documents stored? That was the latest
Hmm.
one. Where did, yeah. And then after that, it's how to resolve a did identifier, and then detecting did document duplicity, and then I'm at the end of my current
Hmm.
round. And then I started with I wanted to write a script about verifiable presentations, but I don't know anything about that. Well, I mean, I have ideas of how it works, but then I was like, oh, I wanted to get more into like the controller keys of a did is a special case of authentication keys, which are different from other types of keys. And there's a list of the types of keys that are available within a did.
Hmm.
Authentication assertion, key agreement, capability delegation, and capability invocation. So those are the five key types. And then I was in the AI working group to ask about, oh, how could you have like capability delegation and capability invocation for an AI agent? What kind of capabilities are allowed to be invoked and stuff like that. And as far as I can tell from my first looks into DIDs, is that the capability delegations are what was it? The cryptographic it's limited. So the delegation is you can delegate like assertion keys or authentication keys or communication keys. So it's like you're delegating the keys, you're delegating the capabilities within the did, as opposed to delegating capabilities of the user. So those capabilities, though, could be defined by like an API. So you could say, maybe you're making your travel reservations by a specific API that you have to be authenticated to. So you can delegate to your AIs did the capability to access, to authenticate on that specific controlled API.
Yeah, certainly the sense I'm getting in AI is the concept of an API is in the standard one that you've got only specific questions you're going to ask going to be much broader.
Yeah.
So certainly the one thing that I have been seeing is okay, so I need to know that your agent is authenticated for this purpose, not a communication channel. Right. So are
Yeah.
you,
Purpose is another
that's a whole different ballgame.
uh, purpose suddenly becomes a whole other ball of wax
Yeah. But
because
it, it,
because because from purpose you have to go purpose. Maybe you can express purpose in ontology, but then this is same thing in the digital rights language and stuff like that. The purpose
Mhm,
is to use. What does use mean when it comes to enforcement by bits on a computer?
mhm.
And how does one system interpret use versus another? I'm and either is very explicitly bit by bit documented about what you can do precisely with use, or you're popping it back up to the human legal system where a judge and lawyers have to argue about what was the meaning of use.
Yeah, well, I think the guardianship case is probably a very good example of that. It's easy to figure out what's the relationship between things digitally, but what authorization you have as a guardian over somebody who's a dependent is
Mm.
entirely legally defined. And that's where, so there's a good mechanism digitally that's been worked out, but the human aspect just becomes it's yeah, particularly the collisions between you're from the UK or Germany, and you're traveling with your kids, and
Mm,
there's this trade-off between that is not resolvable in current legal terms. Your jurisdiction as a guardian or a
mm,
parent in Germany, if you're in the United States, all bets are off. Who gets to win, the U.S. Or state
mm.
interpretation of what guardianship means, or the
Yeah,
one that you have as a citizen of Germany? Um, so
yeah.
there's that kind of clash, which is not it's not a that's not a digital identity problem.
Which is, yeah, and that's when you have like people taking their kids so that they can put them into another jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so certainly the one on and certainly in terms of presentation, um, certainly there's some good work over at OpenID Connect, the DACL project, so data access query language, which is a way of asking questions of a verifiable credential, saying I need to know certain information coming out of that, which I'm looking at strongly for the uh, hospitality and traveler profile in terms of a query mechanism to do that. But the problem with uh, verifiable presentation is I'm saying yes, you're over 18. The problem I have with ZKPs is ZKPs only work on data that is
Very simple questions.
very simple mathematically related series of dates. It's like saying, okay, I need to know if I need to know something that's a compound logic question, what the answer is true or false.
Yeah.
And say, yes, based on this data, I can actually verifiably say that this is true as a certified component. Um, that's where the hard part comes in that, like I said, the answer, as far as I can see, is really simple. You're going to have a component that is certified to make certain decisions and that all parties will trust.
Yeah.
So if you're given this information as input and certain rules about what questions can be asked, you can rely on that component to, in fact,
Mm.
give you that without declaring what the underlying data is. It's not a, it's, it's like going to a notary.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you are you on Discord yet?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to move any chats from this bite-sized trust onto the Discord channel.
So that would be under trust over IP.
Yes.
Okay. I probably have access to that. Let's put it this way. I'm just going to pop over there and see what I've got on the
Yeah,
different
go ahead.
machine.
I sent you, I put the invitation to it in the uh I put the invitation in the Slack channel because we want to be moving off of Slack.
Okay, let me just pull that up. So where in Slack?
In the Bite-sized Trust, there. Hello,
Yep.
there are a few members who have moved to Discord to test the system out, and then click on that Discord link, and that should invite you into the Hyperledger. The whole Discord server is called Hyperledger.
Ba-dum.
Oh, I can put it here in the
No, I
chat.
got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Right. So
Or join the Linux Foundation. Yeah, no, that's the same.
yeah,
That's
I'm in the Linux Foundation. So
ah,
where would I?
ha ha ha. So then there, hoy. So to to simplify what appears, because there are multiple sections, and we're all inside the ToIP section. And then what you can do is you can
Yep, I see it.
channels and roles, I went through and I unchecked like everything.
Yep, so I can see that. So I'm looking at it right now. Like I said, I'm looking on a different screen. I've got
Yeah,
I have a
yeah,
machine that I do my Zoom calls on, and another one I use for most of my other stuff I remote. So I see this is the start of the ToIP channel for Bite Size Trust. So, and the last
yeah,
messages were on yesterday, with you and Drummond having a chat.
yeah. I copied the same video onto onto both Slack and Discord.
Alrighty. Okay, so that's done.
And do you know anything um about oh yeah, so then from the meeting yesterday with the AI group, the people who were there didn't really know much about what these keys are and stuff like that. And then they was like, well, we should do a separate video on authentication key, assertion key, key agreement, and then the capability, delegation, and invocation. Just a short one where you talk about what you can do about it a bit
Well,
more.
I would start because I don't know those things specifically myself. Is okay. Here are the kinds of keys.
Yeah, so I've got my first one is like all the way back from dids have keys to now the keys can be rotated to now here are the 5 types of keys that you can have in a did. And then I think it's a good idea to have each one described because I have a single sentence or two, but yeah, you have no idea what the capability invocation key is and stuff like that. And then the other script I have is the passwords and keys about why keys are better than passwords
Mhm.
for security, although it's shitty for losing.
Well, I mean, this is, I mean, this is the whole point of carry, right? It's
Right, that
distributed
you're
and
supposed to be able
right.
to come back eventually. Yeah, get it in
You want to,
uses.
it's the bank lockbox of approach, right? When all else
Yeah,
fails, it's in a safe place that in an emergency I can get access to it.
yeah, and yet there's still people losing millions in Bitcoin because they fucked up key management.
Or what is it? Oh, what's his name? Um, Tim Boma, who's a big
Uh-huh.
fan of uh, I can't recall what uh, Geek's Paradise version of
Oh,
uh,
Lightning.
no, it's basically, it's yet another communication channel system.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
he's absolutely enamored of it, and the biggest
Oh, Elements,
no,
Matrix.
no.
That's what everybody likes now in the techie circle.
Well, let's put it this way. He's on. I should pull it up here.
Not Mastodon or AT protocol or
No, it's it's you need to be an Uber geek to even know it exists. Um,
I
um,
thought Matrix was hitting that. Since that was
yeah,
what
well,
all
there's
the that's what all the human
yeah.
colossus people
Tim's now got a channel on Substack, which actually there's some fairly good AI discussions on Substack.
Okay. Yes.
I'm just trying to think of what. I'm just going to look it up here. Here we go. Tim Boma. So, um, really, that's all I've seen. Um, anyway, there's let's put it, there's some system that he's, all you need is a key, right? The problem
Right.
is people keep losing the damn things. So they say, I'm coming back in. I had a new key because I forgot my old one. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's put it this
Yeah.
way. If there's two things that's deteriorating in Neil Thompson, the brain went a long time ago. My memory has always been really bad. So
So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to get a metal plate and buy a little kit on Amazon, and then you're going to hammer into the plate the recovery of your key, and then you're going to bury it in the garden and store it somewhere else so that
yeah,
people can't get your 50 billion in Bitcoin.
all right. And that'd be as good as, where my favorite game every morning is where did I put my glasses?
Yeah. Well, now you can go and somebody goes to bury the
So
family dog and then they find somebody's crypto keys from 100 years
exactly.
ago.
Yeah, you know, whatever. I mean, that's why I've been using password safes for about 15 years. I don't trust myself
Yeah.
for any of that stuff. Anyway, so yeah, so certainly verifiable presentation is a big issue. It's also a bit of a segue into what we're looking at in the travel profile. A lot of the information, in fact, one of the things that is coming out is you've got two levels of access for certain kinds of information. Um, for example, your medical history is very important. And for the right person with the right credentials, it's essential for, you're traveling in Europe, you break a leg and you've got medication so they want to put you on, but they have no idea what you are currently taking.
Hmm.
They have no idea what your medication forbidden list is. You cannot take this following thing. In a classic case of somebody, penicillin. My father ran into that. Very early in the days, he got ill somewhere else. They gave him penicillin. He had a massive reaction. He had no
Yeah.
idea. And he's probably one of the first people I ever knew who had one of the bracelets. Right.
Hmm.
So there is an organization that's actually doing that same thing because there's a big difference in terms of I need to have my medical records as part of my profile, but I'm not going to disclose anything except the supports I need for my medical conditions. The only people who need access to the actual underlying medical records and medication allergies reactions is going to be someone who's got a verifiable credential that, yes, I'm a first responder. Right. So we're certainly
Hmm.
finding that kind of information you need to know, but it's buried under layers of access. Right. That pattern is coming up very quickly.
So Linux Foundation is going to hate me, but Eric says, "Oh, can we move bite-sized trust to another day?"
Eric, who?
Drury.
Oh, I'm
So
agnostic. Like
let me look at my
the number of well-attended Chester IP meetings is dropping these days.
Oh, it's been dropping for a while,
Yeah.
but I like the conversations a lot.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, I just got off a conversation with somebody on the dip side, travel industry, and got a lot of. We just had a discussion because the usual people are all traveling in Europe, but got some very key information based on his experience on working for Microsoft on travel issues. So the conversations are key.
okay. What about Mondays? I'm gonna write
Mondays are pretty clear, but the only thing I have Mondays is the um, oh, what the hell is it here?
there's nothing
The only
on
thing,
the ToIP calendar.
yeah, the only thing there is the concepts, trust provide concepts and terminology meeting.
Yeah, that shows up, but that's a few hours later. So I was gonna do either 10 or 11 a.m. EST.
That
I
works
have,
for me.
yeah, okay. They're gonna hate me. I constantly, well, no, it's because I'm the one that gets targeted to ask to change meetings and I do that. So,
Well, like I said, that busiest days I've got are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I've got two this and a meeting earlier, but the hour before this one for the traveler profile.
mhm. Yeah,
But
okay.
that's about it.
Andor had a nice presentation in Trust Registry Task Force. It's up on YouTube. Okay, I like that time. Monday, 10 a.m. One concepts and terminology. No, yeah, it's 1 o'clock.
Where did Edward paste that? Was it on?
No, it's on the public YouTube channel now. So, okay, I'm going to. I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover, and I need the time then to work on some scripts and then change the meeting time. So I think that then we're done with the meeting, unless you had, yeah, well, have a look at the I'll give you the link to the task registry. He was working on AI agent stuff. So, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go.
All right.
And yeah, so I'm gonna close our discussion off. I'm gonna go and work on those other scripts as well now and try and get the next chunk. I bet I could get another chunk out before symposium.
Yeah, I've said earlier, it's one thing to cover off, here's what value's been brought to the table. I would certainly see it as, okay, here's the next chapter. What is going forward mean? So certainly, we're looking at the stuff that John Phillips has been gotten pulled into at the UN. It's very clear that, the world is moving their eye towards, okay, we need, uh, to solve the trust problem, you need to have governance at the national level. And without that, you've got nothing. You can't participate as a country unless you can
Yeah.
build a credible agency that actually says, yes, you are a recognizable whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to see John give a presentation about that at some point.
Well, it's very early days and the UN moves slowly.
Yeah.
We're
But still,
talking about
I wonder if he could give a talk at Ecosystem and just talk about the concepts. Not necessarily their progress, but
well, I think what he will be able to, like, he is actually a co-chair on that UN committee.
yeah, I know.
So yes, I would just put, I mean, we haven't met because of conflicts for a number of weeks. But
Right.
yeah, I would certainly get him to talk about that because that's without that piece, you look at travel's got its, supply chains and travel are probably the two biggest areas that absolutely aren't going to go anywhere soon without that kind of trust fabric.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and my favorite example for this trust, this new group that's spinning up, what, the 24th or something this month, looking at, I can't recall what the name of this new group is, but it's the Distributed Trust something or other.
Decentralized, no. The trust graph.
Yes, Trust Graph.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that came out and I'm writing up a one pager on the travel industry, is told to me by people who know it, is that, your average hotel, even in, the US and the
Oh,
UK,
Lord.
has got so many different owners, and half of them are not legally registered. You can have you farmed out the running of the hotel to some, you know, foreign agency that has got no track record whatsoever. So, they're not even registered in their own country. Um, and yet that's the way the hotel industry does business. That's just not going to go very far anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah,
Okay.
tell John I sent you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I have to change the meeting time. And yeah, because this meeting time, I like Fridays because Fridays are kind of empty for me, but nobody else is able to make it work. So cool. Thanks, Neil. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
Jetson.
Bye.